Hello and welcome to my channel, Hoda Studio. Today we're going to be doing a simple poster using very basic tools in Illustrator. So Adobe Illustrator, usually people find it very complicated, but today we're going to do something very basic and really good looking. So you can see here that we have some presets, but we're going to be opening the print one. They're mobile web print, there are many ways. So we're going to go with A4 and choose millimeters you can choose any measurement you like, but we're going to choose millimeters. So you can choose artboard's orientation here. There's a lot of flexibility in Illustrator. Now bleed is something we can talk about later. It's usually used in print versions where you need some extra space outside the page. And we're going to be choosing RGB color because we don't really need to print this one. If you need to print it, it would be suggested that you use CMYK colors. Simple explanation to that. So we can see that there's a lot of tools here, but we're going to be using the very basic ones, and so you don't have to worry about that right now. So we're going to be inserting an image, which is simply all you need to do is open your file location and drag it onto your canvas. Now you can easily scroll in and out by pressing Alt and scrolling up and down on your mouse, or you can use the trackpad or the percentage in the corner. Now we're going to take some waves looking thing. Now we have put the moon image into the clipping mask for the waves, and now we are going to recolor this using the eyedropper tool and simply lighten the color to give that, perspective effect. So simple enough to do this, and just repeat the process of doing this. Now if you want to change each of the positioning for this to make it a bit more diverse and maybe like spread out, so we can just select the shadow layer and the solid layer, and we can simply move them around using the arrow keys or your mouse as well. Now while resizing, if you drag using the shift key, if you press the shift key and then drag it out the image, it's going to keep the proportions. But if you drag it out without the shift key, it's going to unlock the proportions and resize it to whatever shape you drag it to. So once we're satisfied with our spacing and everything, we can press escape to leave the group, and now we want to add some texture to the overall image. So we're going to take this image and insert, and we're going to change the opacity to lower, and we're going to set it as overlay. This is going to make sure that your image is not too, it's very less transparent, like it has a very light opacity, and it's going to give a nice grainy effect on the desert hills. Now we're going to insert some elements to this. We're going to use another vector image that we have from FreePic, and we are going to be copy pasting specific elements from here. Now the trick with this is that you can easily select specific elements and simply copy paste them into your image and manipulate them the way you want. Okay, so we're adding some trees and grass here. You can copy paste specific elements as I mentioned before, and you can simply resize them to whatever you like, and we're making the ones that are further up and darker in color to be smaller, just to give an idea of distance, to give that illusion of distance. So, and changing them into the same color as the hills sort of gives you a nice effect of blending in with the image. So you can even change the direction, and okay, so we're gonna add some more grass around here in on the different layers, and you can have multiple sizes, and just to give a bit of variation in the overall illustration, so that it doesn't look too blank or too scattered. And now, so one thing you can do is, while working with so many elements, is that if you have overlay layers, that means they have to be on top of everything. And at times, you don't need to be selecting that again and again. So what you can do is easily press the lock button, and you can lock that layer, and you won't be selecting that, especially when you need to select the smaller elements. Now, because I wanted to do I wanted the grain to be a little different and the texture on a different part of the image, so I resized it. And to create a clipping mask, we're going to create a rectangle the size of the page, and what we're going to do is select the two layers, the one of our image that we want to clip and one of the rectangle. So we're going to select those two, right click, and select Make Clipping Mask. This is going to make sure that there's nothing outside your canvas. So we're going to save this file as Desert Night on the desktop, just for the ease of access for now. And you can choose any desired location. I'm going to save this as PDF, so if you want to print it, PDF is best. And next we have exporting as PNG, which is one of the most common exports that we do from Illustrator. So to export that, we do File, Export As, and then you choose PNG in the options here. So what we're going to do is we're going to save it with the same name but as a PNG file, and we're going to choose Use Artboard. You don't have to check this. If you have nothing outside the canvas, it's okay to uncheck. But if you have anything outside of the canvas borders, then you should use Artboard, so that it does not save anything that is outside the limits of your canvas border. Then here you can use this as a background, and so for example, you can see this poster that I've created here, that with some logos and some of the text here. You can easily add anything over it, and there you have it, a simple poster background, or anything you want to use this as. Maybe even you can resize it to a bigger print, like an A3 or A1 size, that can be put up as a print in your room or something as such. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos like this, and give this video a like if you felt like the steps were easy to follow and it was a doable illustration. And if you have any suggestions, or something you want me to work on, a specific design or anything specific technique, you can post them down in the comments, and I can show you in the next video.